warroomsports.com. Get that mobile app.
What's going on, basketball fans out there, and welcome to another edition of Court Vision, of course, as usual, brought to you by War Room Sports in conjunction with the Sports Kings. I'm one of your hosts. I'm Devin. I got the homies at the table. I got Frank of Sports Kings. What's up, Frank?
Yo, shout out to the girl that said, I don't know what the homie agency did, but everybody keeps talking about free agency. Yo, free the homie agency.
You moron. And we got Jimmy the Blueprint of War Room Sports.
I want to send a shout out to the young lady who said Chris Bosh should take $96 million because therefore he'd be only $4 million away from $1 billion. Shout out to you, young lady.
Yo, see, the stuff that y'all saying, this is the reason that I feel that we have to pack our stuff and leave Earth. Like,
yo, we got to do better, man.
I've been secretly on my Noah mission. You know, I'm trying to build some type of a spacecraft to get us out of here, so I will let you guys know when that's done. All right, but anyway, we're going to talk a little bit of free agency. We're going to do a little speculating. You know, that's all we can do at this point. But before we do that, just remember, everybody, you know, make sure you, first of all, subscribe to the page, because when you subscribe to the page, you'll know exactly when we drop another video. You can come on and check it out. Make sure you click the like button on this video, because when you like the video, you know, that makes us feel good. You can leave your opinions in the comment section so we can get a dialogue started. And all in all, make sure you go to warroomsports.com, check us out. Go to sports-kings.com, check out the Sports Kings. Go to wrspn.com to check out all the shows on our podcast network. And make sure you pick up that mobile app. Just search War Room Sports in your App Store or your Google Play. All right, free agency. It's not much going on besides the fact that everybody's waiting for that giant boot to fall, which is LeBron James, and then after that, all the other shoes will start falling in place. We've seen reports that Cleveland is now a major player in this race. I don't know if you guys remember, but last week the story was, well, Cleveland can't get in touch with LeBron's camp, so we're about to offer Gordon Hayward a max deal. Now all of a sudden, Cleveland has their chest pumped out. You know, they're trading players like Jarrett Jack to free up some more cash, not for LeBron because they have enough money for LeBron, but they're trying to free up money to lure some of his quote-unquote friends, Ray Allen, Mike Miller, and I'm tired of every article I read saying this guy's a good friend of LeBron's.
Everybody's a good friend of LeBron.
Carmelo's a close friend of LeBron.
I'm a close friend of LeBron, man. What's up, bro?
I told y'all, man. He doing his Drake thing, man. He's the most famous dude in the world, but he wants to be everybody else's friend. All right, so what do you guys think, man? Cleveland has emerged onto the scene. We've gone back and forth over the past 4 years of whether it would be possible if he would, you know, ever go back to Cleveland. I thought it was very, 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 very unlikely. I still do, but Cleveland seems to think otherwise, and a lot of other people are starting to join that boat. What do you guys think?
Well, here's the thing. I'll jump in and say this. Like, I am a Lakers fan, and of course, we've been trying to lure LeBron to L.A., or at least imagine LeBron playing for the Lakers for years at this point. But I'm also on the record as saying there's no way on God's green earth LeBron will come to L.A. I'm on the record saying that if LeBron doesn't go to Miami, there's only one destination, and that will be Cleveland. And I'm on the record as saying that you can watch previous court visions. You can go to WRSPN.com and listen to the War Room podcast. I said it on there as well. Because, you know, everybody knows I'm a conspiracy theorist. And for him to go back to Cleveland, lead them to a championship, yo, what kind of story is that? That's amazing, especially after the way things went down when he left. Other than that, he's going to stay in Miami. I just hope that he does leave. Here's why. I mean, at the end of the day, you can't make everybody happy, LeBron. No matter where you sign, you're going to piss somebody off. But if you hold the entire world hostage this long just to stay where you're already at, that's corny, yo. It's just wrong. Like, it's like anticlimactic at that point. Like, if you leave, that's like, yeah, if you leave, that's dope because it's like, yo, at least we waited and something major happened. You know what I'm saying?
And then as Cleveland fans are getting very confident again. So if he takes all of this time and they start to feel that they're going to get him, and, you know, mind you, LeBron hasn't said anything, but he also isn't putting the kibosh on all of these reports. So they're starting to feel more and more confident. If he stays in Miami, we might have a repeat of 4 years ago with people burning his jerseys in Cleveland again because they're going to think, okay, he did it to us again. Frank, what do you think about this whole thing?
Yeah, it's gonna be weird. The same jerseys that they're probably digging out of the trash as we speak. They're gonna have to
burn
like
ashes.
they're gonna have to like throw a new party, throw it back in the trash. But I agree. I think he's either going to Miami or Cleveland. I never would have thought. I mean, I thought it was just such a pipe dream when people in Cleveland were talking for the past even year or so. Even the past couple months, I've heard, oh, LeBron might come back to Cleveland. I just thought that was always such a pipe dream. I thought he would either stay in Miami, go to the Lakers. I thought if, some way, somehow, if Phil Jackson could clear enough cap space, he would go to New York and play with Melo. I thought those were the three options, but I don't think the Knicks could conceivably do that. But it's really looking like Cleveland might be it. And I think Jimmy brought up the best point. I think LeBron is just a people pleaser. He's everybody's friend. He doesn't want people to hate him. And I honestly think it still hurts him what happened when he left Cleveland. I think the fact.
Could you imagine the Nike commercials? You can see him already, like the king returns to his castle.
Right.
Like you can see the whole marketing
runners.
campaign.
Right.
Yeah, all the marathon runners.
One thing about the Knicks, I think the Knicks are doing a little bit of sneaky business right now. We keep hearing these reports that, first of all, LeBron and Carmelo are best friends now. They came into the league as Bird and Magic, supposedly. They were trying to hype that as the biggest rivalry ever. So if those two guys get together and play, that's just going to be more material for me to slander both of them. However, the Knicks, first of all, there were reports that Carmelo was waiting on his decision to see where LeBron was going to go. 10 minutes after that report, sources say Carmelo's going to stay in New York for the max. However, we're thinking the Knicks might not have the money, but the Knicks do have some deals in place. Like they have a deal in place with Philly. If they're willing to throw in another pawn, they could get rid of Amari Stoudemire's expiring contract if they're willing to give somebody like Shumpert up with them.
Right.
So they may have some tricks up their sleeves in order to make this happen. It's all a matter of whether or not LeBron actually wants to go there and play with Carmelo Anthony.
All right, back to my conspiracy.
They are best friends. Right. I mean, I thought Dwayne Wade was his best friend, but now Carmelo's his best friend.
No, listen, back to my
conspiracy. Dwayne Wade can't play anymore.
I didn't think anymore.
He's out of the circle.
I didn't think the Knicks would be a player. But think about this though. Back to my conspiracy theories. If you lead the Knicks to a championship, if you take the Knicks to the championship, as overrated as New York basketball
might
is,
be bigger than Cleveland.
Sorry, New Yorkers, but think about this though. That's like the biggest thing ever because the Knicks are back, allegedly. Back to what? I don't know. The Knicks haven't won since '72. I wasn't born then. But according to Amari, and the Knicks are back. But imagine taking New York, the overrated basketball team, the overrated franchise, who likes to put themselves up there with the Lakers and Celtics, although they're frauds. Imagine if LeBron can go to New York. Imagine if LeBron can go to New York where everything is overhyped, including the pizza, and win a championship. Like, that would be amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I absolutely agree. I wrote a piece for NY Sports Kings. Go check it out. I'm the site manager there now. Quick plug. The top 10 New York sports teams of my lifetime, and the first one was the New York Rangers, the '94 Rangers. And I said the only thing that could ever top that is because New York is a Knicks town. So, like, if the Knicks were to ever make a championship run or get LeBron James and Carmelo Anthony playing together, like, the city, New York City, would just be electrified. You know what I mean? Like,
they don't even have to win a chip. They could just like be competitive and go to a chip.
They could just if they made four straight finals, like the Miami Heat just did, like I think LeBron would be seen as like just the greatest thing that's ever happened to the Knicks.
Oh my God, he could walk into like the middle of Manhattan, just pull his schlong out, and nobody would say anything. I mean, because they're absolutely correct. They're absolutely correct because that's a basketball town. Shout out to my New Yorkers. I'm not trying to slander your city. I love the city. Beautiful Latino women, delicate women, as Donald Sterling would say. But the thing is, it's a Knicks town. Like, everybody loves the Knickerbockers. So if he can just turn that around, that'd be amazing too. Now, again, I'm gonna stick to my guns and say I think in Cleveland or Miami. But that wouldn't shock me. I mean, Phil Jackson.
I agree. To me, like the lore playing with Phil Jackson has been a lot more than I ever thought it would ever be when he took the job. It seems like everybody wants to go play for not even a Phil Jackson coach team, just like him being in the organization. Everybody wants to go play for him. I never thought it would be as big of a factor as it seems to be.
I think they all have some hopes that he might step down onto that bench one day.
He might be like Popovich.
Yeah.
Like Popovich. He say LeBron and Melo. Guess what? Now it feels good.
I mean, think about it.
D-Fish, step aside.
Yeah, he's hiring pawns, so there's always a chance that he's going to step back down into that coaching.
Move over, D-Fish.
To the bench. So, yeah, I mean, I basically agree with you guys are saying. Cleveland, the story would be a great one because it'll be so sentimental for Cleveland, and Cleveland wins nothing in any sports. So yeah, he's already the king of Cleveland, even though he left. So I think that'll be a story, but the sheer fact that, New York has 90 billion more people than Cleveland, and it's such a basketball town, I think that would put him, it'll be crazy because, like Jimmy says, they tend to overrate every single thing that happens.
Yeah, I really can't emphasize enough too. Like, I really think that the way it ended in Cleveland, like, still hurts LeBron to this day. Like, I think he's still like emotional about people burning his jerseys and him basically seen as the villain.
Emotional.
Well,
the thing is this though. Remember, LeBron has told us since day one that his goal is to be a billionaire athlete.
Right.
Now, where else can he go play and make more capital than he could in New York? He's already like the most well-known athlete in the world, but playing for the Knicks, oh my God.
I mean, because I basically think LeBron's that kind of athlete who's already transcended his sport, where he can go anywhere. He can go to Milwaukee and still become the first billionaire athlete. However,
everywhere but Milwaukee. Milwaukee might take money away.
I think everything would accelerate in New York City. So
yeah.
I don't know. I think the Knicks are pulling some strings. But
yeah, I think the Knicks and the Suns. The Suns to me are the other this weird wild card team because they have the potential to team up Melo and LeBron together. So they always they have a chance. I don't know about all that.
I don't see that. But like you said, he is preoccupied with playing with another superstar. So I mean, hey, my 76ers can pair him up with Melo too if you want to do that.
But, meanwhile, Bosh and them sitting there like, yo, man, like, what we gonna do?
That's where I'm gonna go. I mean, you got Bosh who's considering a max deal from Houston. I think Bosh is a better fit in Houston than he is in Miami anyway. So for him, man, I'm kind of getting frustrated because he keeps saying he wants to be in Miami, but he's considering Plan B just in case LeBron doesn't sign or if LeBron doesn't sign long term.
LeBron's
if you want to be in Miami, then sign in Miami. Like,
no, that's LeBron's caddy. B. I want to. It's a caddy. I want to be in Miami with Raymond. If Raymond is
there, you enjoy Miami so much, then why are you basing your life on what this guy does?
I am so frustrated. I am so frustrated with Chris Bosh. We all know that Chris Bosh is known. We all know Chris Bosh is known for some fraudulent activity as it is, and I've been
making it worse.
I've been sitting here for the past couple of months, trying to defend dude, because everybody bashes Chris Bosh, and I'm trying to, I think Chris Bosh is one of the more underrated players in the league now, because people think all he could do is shoot threes, but he could do so much more than that. But Chris Bosh is really disappointing me. He's like a little man now. He's just chilling, stalking, with that Chris Bosh look. Waiting on LeBron. He's at LeBron's house, just photobombing him.
His free agency dealings are the most frustrating thing about this whole period to me.
LeBron James is Busta Rhymes and Chris Bosh is Spliff Star. He's this young boy. He's not going to make any move. And it's sad to say because he would fit better in Houston. I mean, the stretch four, playing with that team, that would be an amazing fit. But he's not going. Yo, LeBron low-key runs the whole league, yo. Dev, you mentioned before how Adam Silver.
Nobody else is doing anything until LeBron makes his decision.
LeBron is the king of the league and doesn't even want to be. How real is that? He's the he got the whole league hostage.
Yo, shout out to Gordon Hayward who's trying to jump the picket line. He's like, screw you, I ain't waiting for LeBron.
Gordon Hayward said, you offer me what? He said, I don't care where LeBron go.
LeBron is Jay-Z trying to be Drake. I don't get it. I don't get it, man. You run this thing of ours, man. All right, but I just wanted to throw that out there. Chris Bosh's situation is absolutely frustrating me because he keeps expressing how he wants to be in Miami. Dog, if you want to sign in Miami, you and D-Wade and whatever other talent they get if LeBron leaves will still be a formidable team. But whatever, dude. Let's go to the biggest loser in all of this if LeBron leaves, and I think that is D-Wade because D-Wade had no business opting out because D-Wade shouldn't be paid anything near what he was going to make for the next 2 years. So if he opts out and LeBron leaves, I mean, I know they're going to overpay him because they have this loyalty thing with him, and you know how I feel about loyalty in sports, Jim. But
yeah,
I just think that he'll end up being the biggest loser, like because he opted out, so all three of these dudes could come back. And if LeBron doesn't go, obviously Chris Bosh isn't going to go, so it's going to be D Wade and some other dudes by himself. He's going to be making less money, and the team's going to be maybe mediocre.
His career basically would be over at that point.
He could basically be the biggest loser in all of free agents.
Well, like when I think of D Wade, all I can think of is like that last scene from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air where like Will Smith's just in the room alone, like just like yo, that's D Wade. That's gonna be D Wade if LeBron and Bosh leave. Like he's just gonna be in the room, like Pat Riley's just gone. Like he don't want anything to do with nobody anymore. Just D Wade, just alone.
And speaking of Fresh Prince, Bosh is Fresh Prince in the scene where he was crying and screaming, asking why his daddy didn't want him. Why you don't want me? Why you don't want me? I want to stay in Miami. Why you don't want me?
Yo, rest in peace, Uncle Phil. That's all I gotta say.
All right, so we'll see if the Knicks have anything up their sleeve. We'll see if Cleveland really has a reason to be so confident. I mean, they re-signed Kyrie Irving. They got Andrew Wiggins in the draft. They just traded Jared Jack to make some more room to go get LeBron's friends, Mike Miller and Ray Allen. So we'll see what that is. You got the dark horse that we mentioned, Phoenix, who has enough money to get LeBron and Carmelo. We got the Lakers over there sitting in wait, you know, like a lion in the grass, ready to pounce if anybody makes a mistake or messes up. But okay, once the big boot drops and everything starts to fall into place, well, we could even talk about do you guys have any moves that stand out to you now, like any signings that basically stand out?
Yeah, the one thing that stands out to me is like this is like the off season of the white boys so far. Like all the white boys are getting paid. Chandler Parsons just got paid. Gordon Hayward getting paid. Josh McRoberts getting paid. Like
yeah,
because they willing to go where they want to go. They don't care less where LeBron at.
Oh, well, since Frank brought that up, we have to mention the fact, you know, that's what Pat Riley has done to try to lure LeBron back. He used his mid-level exceptions on Josh McRoberts and Danny Granger. So Danny Granger and Josh McRoberts are both trying to come play with LeBron. Both of these guys have a little bit of history with LeBron, especially Danny Granger, because he was supposed to be the quote-unquote LeBron bully a couple of seasons ago. So how does that look to you guys of Danny Granger trying to come join the Heat all of a sudden?
Yeah, all I gotta say is if Pat Riley thinks that Josh McRoberts and Danny Granger is the answer to get LeBron back in Miami, like he might need to go on that Donald Sterling the neurologist, because he might be getting some dementia as well. I don't know. He needs more people. Josh McRoberts and Danny Granger ain't getting it done. That's not it.
I think they're pretty good pickups, though. I mean, you have to remember, this is in addition
on the bench, compared to what their bench did last year.
Exactly. This is in addition to LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh in a perfect world. So I see the pickups as being pretty good if Danny Granger can get back to 3/4 of the player he was.
What I'm thinking is
an all-star coming off the bench, or maybe starting.
What I'm thinking is, what if we've been talking about all show? Like, LeBron wants to play with his friends, not people that have been trying to fight him on the court. Like, Cleveland's got the right plan. Like, basically, if you have a picture that proves that you've met LeBron more than once, they're probably going to give you, like, a mid-level exception deal right now.
Yo, shout out to Danny Granger for signing with the team trying to play with LeBron. Remember, Byron Scott thought he was going to go coach LeBron, too. You saw how that worked out.
Yeah, LeBron, everybody's career path is based on what LeBron James is going to do. They should start making
LeBron for like
LeBron they should make the bracelets WWLD. What was LeBron?
Yo, I don't remember any other star, whether it be Kobe in his prime or Jordan, Magic, Kareem. And I watched a lot of great players come and go through this league. Straight just run the league this way. Like, dude holds the entire league. Yo, shout out to LeBron for just running the league.
Well, it's a different league now. You know, it's a different business. So, I mean, not saying that any of those guys would have. Maybe Michael, if he had this kind of power, maybe. But, nah, I don't know.
I mean, I honestly don't know.
Everybody wants to play with LeBron because he's, quote-unquote, such a good teammate. I don't think even Michael Jordan had that title. He was an
Well, I
A-hole.
mean, you guys would know better than I would too, but like, was Jordan ever really in danger of ever leaving the Bulls? Like, I think everybody.
Well, I
just
mean, no,
knew
he had a contentious relationship with ownership.
No, he was just
that was
retired.
there. But
He really talked about other teams. He just leaves.
He would quit on his team. He would definitely quit on his team. But here's the thing, though. I think Michael Jordan. All right, now watch how I go here. Is to blame for a lot of this because what Michael Jordan did was. No. I'll just aside. Hear me out, though. This is no Mike slander. Mike, basically, what he taught these young boys indirectly was the power that they have. Because of Jordan, they recognize their power now. Now they're basically flexing it. Players back in the day still had this sense of loyalty to their team. They looked at the team as being their boss, and I got to do what boss man says. Michael Jordan made them recognize, like, yo, I have the leverage. I'm a boss in my own right, and I'm going to, like, basically flex my power. So, in essence, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It depends upon how you look at it. It depends upon your vantage point. Yeah. Michael Jordan made these guys aware of the power they really have.
Yeah, now they just look at him like Denzel in Training Day, where in the last scene where he's like, "I run shit here, you just live here."
No doubt, and that's why, Jimmy. Every time we talk about things like this, I always have to give two perspectives because I always look at this from two perspectives. As a businessman, because that's what we do here, I respect everything the players are doing. As a fan of the game, as a basketball purist, I think everything my hero Michael Jordan did that we loved ended up being negative for the game. I'm even talking about, the pressure that he puts on players just by his name, the ghost of Michael hanging over every superstar who comes into the league, the expectations we have for these guys, the premium we put on championships. It wasn't like that before. And Michael Jordan wasn't the first dude to win a lot of championships. But before that, nobody was talking about how everybody had to win a chip because Bill Russell had 11 of them. So
it's the marketing and things that came with it, and I agree with that.
I think that's a negative for the pure.
It's sort of like this with everything, man. And I could tie a big bow like this, right? If you look at anything in this world, whether it be hip hop, whether it be movies, me and Frank love battle rap. Once you start involving commerce and business with it, you have two different perspectives. What's good for business and what's good for the art, or the sport, you want to say. Because those two things sometimes are in conflict with each other. You know what I mean? Like, you see movies, right? And you say, well, why didn't such and such play in this? Because it didn't make good business sense. Or, a lot of times.
Or you ask, like, why is Kevin Hart making Ride Along 2? I mean.
Yeah, it's basically like
once it's a good business move,
Once you get business and money involved, then you get politics involved, and then people aren't doing things because they want to anymore. They're doing things because they have to. Yeah.
And this is true.
The worst.
When I speak about this, okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The worst part about what you said, Dev, about Michael Jordan was it's not even about what Michael Jordan did. It's more so about like our people's perception of what Michael Jordan did. Like they want people to be like a player that even Michael Jordan never was, but they think he was.
Mike won 6 titles all by himself.
I mean, because that boils down to people just at the end of the day, people are stupid. I mean, let's keep it a beam, man. Like they want people, like you said, the perception of what Michael Jordan did. It's the same way they look at people and judge them. They want to hold everybody to a higher moral standard than they hold themselves. That's what people do. So.
Yeah, so, I mean, basically that's why people think that I'm a little bipolar when we talk this stuff, because I have two perspectives at all times, because I can relate to the business side and I can relate to, the players, the wants and needs of the players. So I guess that's how it is. But this free agency period is wild, and it's wild because of inactivity. Like, nothing really has happened, but every single team in the league is trying to make room for this pipe dream, and only one team's going to get, the big prize. So we'll see who it is, whether it's LeBron staying in Miami, Byron going back to Cleveland, New York sneaking in there doing something, and the other guys. I mean, Carmelo is the second prize. He had a good meeting supposedly with LA. The Knicks came out and met him in LA to try to put the kibosh on that. Word is he's going back to the Knicks. So we'll see how it all shakes out. The fact
are back.
Some of this stuff might shake out. Some of these decisions might be made before you guys even see this video. So but watch the video anyway, because when that happens, we're going to be right back at you guys with another show to talk about where these shoes started to fall. So you guys got anything else before we sign out of here?
Well, I just want to say,
Chandler Parsons, get your money.
I just want to say what you just said about looking at things from two perspectives. In the words of the great Cyrus Bean from Scandal, I do watch Scandal, Judge Your Mother. He said everybody's right and everybody's wrong. It just matters upon your vantage point. So whatever vantage point you have, you could be right or wrong.
Absolutely. Yo, Cyrus is that dude. Anyways.
Cyrus catches wreck, but that's a whole other story, though.
I mean, honestly, I think to extend off Devin's point a little bit, I think the reason why this offseason's been so crazy is just because in the social media era, it's like everybody's got reports and sources, and you know, LeBron's going to Cleveland and he's going to Miami at the same time somehow.
I don't believe nobody but Wojo from Yahoo, because I don't know who his source is, but
he's like the Illuminati. Like his source is, I think his source is Adam Silver. Like he just like calls Adam Silver on the jack. Like what do you got for me?
I got one source in life for every aspect of life, for sports, social stuff. If TMZ say it, then it's true.
Because they pay for their information, so you know they're cutting the check, so they better be getting some.
But Wojo, like I don't know, like I agree with you, Frank. He's the Illuminati. He definitely is. He's the Illuminati.
Yeah, he most certainly is. But I think that's the reason why the free agent's been so crazy, is because like Twitter's basically like a paranoid schizophrenic. Like they just start like imagining things and they go off on tangents, and by the time you know it, like things are getting so like jumbled you don't even know what's going on. And I think that's what makes it so crazy.
I was listening to something this morning. I forgot what I was listening to, so sorry if I can't cite you. Might have been Mike and Mike. I don't know. But somebody was talking about how the reaction to the decision was so negative, but look at how everybody's acting right now. It's like that's what we want. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not even doing that anymore, but the way people are talking when he isn't even saying anything, it's like that's what we really want. And but that's the way the cookie crumbles when you're as big a sports figure as LeBron James. So
LeBron and Melo should both go to New York and show up at the press conference with NWO T-shirts on.
We were talking about this before the show. I just want to shout out LeBron James trying to act like you don't know everybody's trying to get in touch with you, and you're tweeting about like women's basketball, like you don't have like 10,000 missed calls on your phone. Like you're just gonna act like nobody's trying to call you.
LeBron James is just ignoring the world right now. Oh yeah, one more thing. And I don't know if you guys noticed, Jimmy, you've been on Twitter, so maybe you can check it out and verify if this is true or not. But somebody posted a photo earlier saying that LeBron may have tipped his hand already, because if you look at his bio on Twitter, if you look at Kyrie Irving's bio on Twitter and Tristan Thompson's bio on Twitter, they all refer to La Familia. So that's the latest conspiracy theory. Go check that out.
Yo, who picked up on that, though?
All talking. Somebody put it in the comment section on one of our Facebook posts. Facebook.com/War Room Sports.
Yo, whoever figured that out, you get no moisture. There's no way for you to be like, why are you on Tristan Thompson's Twitter page? Why are you on his Twitter page?
Yeah, let's see what Wiggins says. Wiggins is part of La Familia, or Wiggins probably wouldn't even be in the mix if they did make a plan.
Wiggins probably didn't want LeBron there.
Yeah, well, they're saying that Wiggins is probably going to be gone because they're going to trade for Kevin Love after they get LeBron. That's what the Illuminati said.
Damn it! I hate the NBA, man.
And Kevin Love said he's willing to sign long term if he can go play with LeBron. He said it already.
I hate the NBA, man. All right, man. Like we said earlier, man, make sure y'all check out sports-kings.com for all your sports needs. You can also go to warroomsports.com. Check out everything we got going on, WRSPN.com.
Yes.
For the podcast, and get that mobile app, War Room Sports. Just search that in your app store, or whatever you got.
By the way, Dev, is in the description box of this video links to iOS as well as the Google Play Store. So make sure you get the app, because we all about, 2020 and beyond. We all about that mobile app right now.
There you go. And shout out to all of our quote-unquote sources for some of the information we got. Shout out to Myra and the gang.
You already know.
Y'all know what it is. This has been another episode of Court Vision. Like I said, we might have some decisions before you watch this video, but watch it anyway. We're going to come right back at you to talk about the aftermath. So, as we always tell you guys, don't accept mediocrity and be steadfast in the war against ignorance.
See you chumps on top.
Kuwait is the war room with 5 nights at the round table, 5 Philly guys diversified and educated.